Hello and welcome to another episode of World of Darkness Hong Kong House of Cards. God damn it, Joey. Tonight we find ourselves at the museum. It has become the de facto meeting place for the time being due to recent events. We have ourselves a multitude of people, some furry, some fairy, some, I don't know, kind of deadish, I guess. I'll let everyone introduce themselves. We'll start with Brett, I guess, since he's on the most left.
All right. So into the museum will walk a Shambhala priest, walking with a somewhat simple staff that's got a header top on it that's reminiscent of Shambhala monks. App 1 seems to be looking around curiously with wide eyes, trying to figure stuff out.
Okay. Evan, if you want to go next.
Uh, of course. Zanai will, or not Zanai, Shar will enter the museum, taking very graceful steps. He's changed his mask and his outward robe again, and this time, he checks. By the way, if we're supposed to leave all weapons at the door this time around, because that might make sense.
Yeah. All right. Then the staff would be left at the door.
Yeah, there'll be security at the front, making sure they have the whole like metal detector and everything.
Okay, in that case, he will leave down his weapons at the door. Upon entering, he kind of cocks his masthead to the side and upon seeing the monk, and his hand reaches into the fold of his robes.
The monk seems to be fascinated with the stuff on the wall. By the way, for people who don't know, this museum is about occult history and the progress of different cultures. According to Kim, right, Kim?
Yeah.
Okay.
In that case, he will, thinking that it wouldn't be funny to give him another puzzle right now. Maybe later. She begins to admire the artwork himself, and that's me.
Solon.
Actually, I can go last if or did Irish Scott BRB? No, he's back. I can go last.
Okay, that's fine, I guess. Joey.
Okay, so the Asian woman enters. Doesn't have any weapons for the cards. She's wearing like this dress that's it's white, and it comes down like right uh liver knee. Sorry, I just got lost for words there. It's very clear, almost see through, but she has like on a tank top underneath it that blends in with it really well. And she, I guess, goes kind of looking through the museum, kind of just observing the pieces really quietly, and then just watching.
Okay. You want to go first?
Okay.
I'll go first then, I guess. Nathan will walk in. To anyone looking at him in the gray world, he'll just look like a youngish, like early 20s. Dark hair, keeps it cut fairly short, just wearing a pair of blue jeans and some old like rock band t-shirt. Insert whatever one you feel would be appropriate here. For those looking in the dreaming, he is dressed in House Dougal colors, has a belt befitting a knight, and is wearing a pair of overalls in those colors. He's also missing an eye and is currently wearing an eye patch over it. His one eye that's left is a bright violet.
Doesn't he also have bite marks on his ear?
Yeah, a chunk of his ear is also missing. Thank you for reminding me.
Just a question before I bring him in. Didn't Dimitri at one point see very briefly your Garu?
Yeah, he's been around, but nobody really knows he's a Garu unless they're metagaming because he's
No.
not outright said it.
He just saw you as some dude who walked in and got distracted by a puzzle.
He's basically pulls off the "I'm a distracted monk" routine pretty well because his concept is enlightened fool.
In that case, after getting...
Kim, are you coming in too, or?
Yeah, as
Okay,
Eleanor.
Alright, go ahead.
Eleanor walks in. She's a blonde woman. She looks fairly strong. And she has sharpish features. She'll go to the only person she knows here. That is Mox the Red Star. And ask,
Hi.
aren't we supposed to be picking up some sort of access card?
Yeah, I'll get one. I'll get one later. There's, I wonder what it looks like. That'd be fascinating. I wonder if mine has a puzzle on it, or a star, or a red star. Red stars, red star. He'll look up and in Cantonese he'll say, "You're a fucking asshole, red star."
I got a question. Oh goodness, I forgot. Are you a member of the Tarot Council?
No.
You're gonna get a plastic card.
Okay. That's fine. Now that Kim's introed, go ahead and intro Solon.
Okay. With that, Dimitri heads in. He's been here once before. He actually probably still has his access card from last time, unless they're date specific.
Were you a member of the Tarot Council?
Yeah, he is. No, he's not. He's not a member of the Tarot Council.
No, I'm not.
So you just get a plastic access card like everybody else.
Yeah. Okay, does he have to get a new one, or is it the same one?
I don't think you got one last time.
Yeah, they weren't it was originally just like all the council members got one, and then other people would be let in for meetings and stuff. But now that it's kind of required that people meet here, everyone's getting a plastic.
Oh, okay. My bad. In that case, he gets the card. That's like his first stop as soon as he walks in, and then he looks around briefly, takes a look at the knickknacks and the various exhibits. Kind of like with a mixture of, oh, that's neat, that's interesting. Oh, wow, they got the history wrong on that one. And then promptly he's looking around to see if he recognizes anyone. He's seen Mox once. I don't think he's seen Kimberly's character. He hasn't seen Nathan. And he hasn't met Kiyima.
He's met Nathan once.
Yeah,
Has he?
museum opening.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, very briefly. Okay. That's been a while.
Because he was like, that's a fascinating clock.
And then, of course, he recognizes Shar. Is everyone still on the first floor?
Actually, Shar has new mask and new robes on. So I don't know if you've seen him like that yet or not.
I think I did the last time we were playing.
Yeah, he wore the similar set the last time he was seen. So yes.
Okay, just
Also,
wanna make sure.
I'm entirely okay with people assuming the person walking around in masks and robes is Shar, because it seems like a reasonable assumption at this point.
Seems
Right.
fair.
Okay. In that case, he'll just raise an eyebrow briefly and then head over towards Mox, because that's the one person he actually feels like talking to at the moment, because he hasn't talked to him yet. But he's at least seen him before.
Mox will kind of sniff a bit and look over as Dimitri walks over. I know you.
We met briefly.
Kim, I'm drawing a blank on your character's name.
Eleanor?
This is Eleanor. She's protected. But she can protect herself too. So I wouldn't try anything. Or else she'll power bomb you.
He raises an eyebrow. Good to know.
Just a quick question for myself. Obviously, the Banality 10 mass Volkite over there. What is everyone else's banality-ish?
Huh?
What is everyone else's banality?
I'm not sure what the banality of a Ragavash would be. Or a Garal. Somebody, Tiger, can you
I
get
get
the
that for
banality
everyone.
I can tell you right now,
I'm on
Nathan is banality 3.
Okay.
Ah, well, I can see the real you. Of course you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Quajin are what by default, or is it depending on Dharma?
They're 8 by default.
I think.
Okay. And arrangements would lower it. Science is above 4, or 4 or higher would raise it.
Mm-hmm. But I think if they've got a lot of yang aspected chi inside of them, then their banality drops. 'Cause
Nope,
that's what
their
happened.
banality actually isn't affected.
Oh, that's weird.
At least according to the rules on the forum.
Okay.
Okay.
What was I going to say? I don't know the Kim. Is that your name?
Eleanor.
Right, well, I was out of character, but okay. What are you, and what is your banality? I know everyone else.
We're gonna look up. I'm gonna look up banality real quick to see if there's. Hang on.
So
Hang on. Things are complicated with her character.
they are complicated with my character, but I could tell you what she looks like in the dreaming.
You have a
She has human. She has.
Okay, so my banality is not affected by auspice, and I'm not one of the tribes that has lower banality. So, 6.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it should be the same for Kim.
Banality 6.
Hold on. Let's
Okay.
see.
So she has.
Yeah,
human
you're
form.
6.
She has big ass scary bear, and then she has normal size bear. That's what you see in the dreaming.
Shar will walk over to her, kind of. How tall?
You broke up on that, Evan. In the dreaming, you would see a superimposition of a wolf over Mox Red Star. I don't think that was ever explained before.
That's cool. He will walk up towards the girl who he perceives as a bear, and he will kind of cock his head to the side, raise his hand up so that one finger is pointing in the air, and say, "Have you gone down to the woods today?"
She'll look at you like you're crazy.
Mox will look
By
at
the
you.
way,
Mox
Huh?
will actually start humming.
she still hasn't shifted any ever since she forgot everything.
Right.
So this is an amnesiac character.
Yeah.
She
Okay.
thinks you're all crazy. Sorta.
Hmm.
She'll just kind of stare at you and go on the other side of Mox.
This is Eleanor. She's protected, except she can take care of herself. She doesn't really need protecting. But if you take her off, Bosco will come powerbomb you. And then she'll powerbomb you. And me, I'll just laugh.
That does sound pretty amusing. Nathan will walk over saying that.
Hi, Nathan.
Should
Have they met?
Yeah.
Brett? They have.
Yeah. He's heard his name. I don't know if you just know him as Yuge Lingpo. They've met like twice, but in each time he's been his whole random self. So
Oh.
maybe that you don't really remember him.
That's possible.
we lost a person.
Yeah.
Who was it?
We lost Evan. He may be having connection issues.
Anyways, Eleanor will say, shouldn't we take this somewhere else?
That'd be a good idea.
I suppose.
Where are we supposed to go?
I believe into the elevator.
Oh, hello, Oathbreaker.
That's
He
rude.
sighs.
He contemplates the statement of, that's rude, and he says, I would often say that a fact, whether rude or not, is still a fact.
He just kind of goes like this. Kind of sniffs at you. By that rationale, I can decide that you're rude, and that would be a truth.
He contemplates this for a moment, and he says, "Yes, you may feel free to call me that if you'd like."
Well, given I don't know your name, I don't feel comfortable walking around calling you rude.
Where are my manners?
That would be a really cool nickname, wouldn't it be?
He doesn't
I do
look
hope
like...
you.
Sorry, go ahead.
I do hope you enjoyed the puzzle I gave you the other night.
There will be a low growl under his breath. I finally finished it.
Oh, how wonderful! Nothing that is worth doing is ever easy.
He just kind of straightens up a bit.
So, to the elevator.
Yeah, anywho.
So we'll walk over and, he'll take Eleanor over to get their access cards, and then we'll walk over to the elevator. Can we go to the bottom or the top? Or the middle? Is there a top or is there a bottom? Truthfully, if there is a top, there must be a bottom. If there's a bottom, there must be a top. But is there always a middle?
Sure. And Nathan's just gonna walk into the elevator and push a button.
The Mox will follow.
Everybody's
so
in the
Dimitri.
elevator.
Shire is currently resisting the urge to pet either the bear or the wolf behind the ears as he enters the elevator.
Oh, don't do that. Fair warning, out of character. Don't do that.
You may notice that as... By the way, is Saya following them, or...
If she wants to.
Yeah, she'll follow. I mean, just like kind of really quietly, just following them behind as they quiet down.
Dimitri
Those
is
kind of... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Nope, you first.
He'll look her, kind of sniff. Just be like, I haven't met you before.
She sniffs him back. I haven't met you either. She says in... Make sure this character can actually speak English.
If not, he would
She
actually...
says in Mandarin.
Yeah, he would have... does she speak Cantonese?
No.
Okay. Responding in Mandarin, finally, somebody who knows how to speak proper Chinese. I'm so tired of these people walking around speaking that slang talk.
She nods and immediately, just... You guys look like you're going for a party. Can I join?
Was that still in the other language or in English?
This character doesn't speak English.
Okay.
More or less a conversation than a party, I would say. Are you other naturally inclined?
She just nods.
Are you a house or a host?
Host?
Oh. Okay. Do you want me to tell them so that they know that you're cool, or do you want to just leave them in suspense?
At that point, Dimitri just says, "Does she have a card or doesn't she?"
She's with me.
She leans over to the dude, to Mox, and she kind of whispers in his ear, "What is he saying? I can never tell what these foreigners are saying."
I know, it's annoying, right? He's asking if you have a card. They're probably going to be suspicious of you if you're not supernaturally inclined, if they don't know you're supernaturally inclined. Do you want me to tell them that you're a member of the hosts? Or do you want to leave them in suspense?
She nods.
I personally love leaving people in suspense.
You can tell them I'm supernaturally inclined. She just goes, the man that with no hair, he smells funky. I'll stay away from him.
Yeah, he's
He actually
interesting.
smells practically antiseptically clean.
That would smell
Exactly.
funky.
Just saying.
Yeah, that would
Smells like
smell
that.
funky.
He smells like bleach.
All right. At that point, Mox will change back to Cantonese and will speak in Cantonese and then repeat in English. She's supernatural. She's cool. She's with me.
If you say so.
By the way, I'm sorry, Joey, but you speak Mandarin, so the only person that you can speak with is a chatterbox and a ragabash, so I may start talking your character.
That's fine, Brett, because I'm playing a thrashing dragon. She's gonna love that.
Okay. So at this point, he'll switch back to Mandarin and look back to Kojima and say, I'm Jugei Pinglo.
I am Kojima Saya. She gives a surprisingly formal-looking bow.
He'll respond with a Shambhala bow, because he is actually one of those families that they send their kids to train as monks every summer. You're Japanese, but you speak flawless Mandarin.
Japanese, but I was raised in Hong Kong, is the answer.
Well, not many enlightened people from the island in the mainland anymore. It's very nice to meet you. How long have you been like you?
She kind of just tilts her head, thinking. Less than a year.
Oh, that's interesting. Have you met many more of your kind?
I have met a few, but my dance has been lonely for the moment.
Alright.
I'm afraid I don't get that. Sorry, go ahead, Kim.
Alright, so you actually stop below the meeting room. There's a lounge area. It has very comfortable couches. It's got a little kitchen and a bar that is all of it stocked. And it's a very comfortable area just to lounge around in, like before the meetings and all that stuff.
Is the kitchen stocked?
Mm-hmm.
Are there
First
candies?
thing Mox is going to do is he's going to walk over to a chair and sit on it Mork style.
There's also alcohol, because she knows that so many of these people are alcoholic.
Yep.
Just everybody at the bar.
Does anybody know what sitting Mork style means?
Nope.
Mork and Mindy?
Yes. So he's literally putting his head on the seat of the chair, pulling his body up, and wrapping his legs around the back of the chair.
Nathan's just gonna watch him, like, finagle his body into this position.
Oh, by the way, balance gift, so he's able to perfectly balance himself on his head. Best gift ever for a Ragabash.
I wanna learn how to do that. Can you show me how to do that?
You're not right.
Well, you're not left.
No, I mean, it's only something my kind can do.
So?
Zanai ponders, Sharp, I always get confused between the characters I play at the current moment, walks up, contemplates the guy basically sitting upside down. He puts his hand in his pocket and he removes like a clump of like small denomination bills and puts one down in front of you. I've seen people do this in the street. I assume this is correct.
I'm not doing this for tips, buddy. Move along.
What's a tip?
That's when you pay people money because you find them amusing. Or because they give you some kind of service, like waiters or bartenders or, pole dancers, things like that.
But you are amusing me, thus I should give you something for the amusement.
I'm doing this to amuse myself. I don't care about the rest of you guys.
Very well then. The money shall simply sit there.
He'll look over at Nathan. Come on, get your head on the chair. We'll see
Alright.
if we can get you to sit right.
Cool. Ethan's gonna get his head on the chair and start trying to finagle his way into it.
Mox is going to move one hand, and I actually need to make an athletics roll for this.
Botch, 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 botch.
Hey Brett, does this count as acrobatics? What you're doing?
Yeah, it does.
So Kojima kind of watches you, and then she's gonna try it herself.
All right. Fortunately,
And would flexible count?
flexible would actually it's more center of motion than flexible, but I'd say we would count for now because not a lot of people even know what center of motion is. Okay, so I actually get a negative difficulty to do this because of balance, and thank God, because I got one success. So somehow this monk is keeping both of you steady upside down on your chairs.
Hell yeah.
And Kojima's just sitting on the chair next to you, copying you perfectly.
At this point, Mox is
This very innocent look on her face.
Yeah. Mox is going to smile over at Saya, and then is going to look at Solon, and is going to look at Eleanor, is going to look at Shar. Come on, join us. The view's great.
It is?
Brett, can you roll, or can somebody who can actually roll dice roll me some dice?
How many?
10, please.
Kinda can't, cause
And I will spend a willpower to do this.
Yeah, ours isn't showing up.
I'll roll it. What's the roll for?
Acrobatics, basically.
Okay. Standard diff would be 6, so 4 successes.
+1 with the willpower. Char
So 5.
he will kind of roll his shoulders, and he will basically do a handstand as opposed to sitting upside down, and raise one of his hands and keep it by its side so he's balancing himself on one hand upside down. This is a very interesting perspective.
Not everything's meant to be upright.
Eleanor is just going to walk away and get some food, make herself a sandwich.
Dimitri's going to get himself a drink. Nothing alcoholic.
Alright. Let's see. While he's in this position, because he is what he is, was it perception, stargazing, perception enigmas? No, perception, stargazing actually would be accurate. And failure, not botch. So he'll close his eyes, attempt to meditate, and then snap them back open. Red Star's out tonight, motherfucker.
What's the red star you're talking about?
So,
You haven't seen it?
Nope.
It's in the sky in both the Umbra and in the real world. It's called Anhelios.
The sun?
No, Anhelios. Appears at night. It's an omen. Bad, bad, bad omen. It means great disaster. It's a foreboding of the apocalypse. At which point he's actually going to release Nathan and sit straight up with his legs crossed in lotus position, looking like the contemplative monk that he actually is supposed to look like.
Would someone roll me 6 dice?
I'll roll.
Alright. Dex athletics to make sure I don't fall on my neck.
Alright, you actually pull it off.
Is there any weird question? Is there any chance with high technocracy lore I might actually have heard something about that star? Because I seem to remember it is known because it does appear in Umbra and shit.
Yeah, it's known to you. It's a strange juxtaposition. It apparently appeared suddenly one night about 10 years ago or so. And not 10 years ago, about 8 years ago actually. And ever since there has been a strange conflux of energies from the entropic destructive side.
Interesting.
as they're sitting there, Kojima just takes one hand, uses it to push herself up from the chair, and like flips around to end up sitting on her, like using her hands to keep herself in the air with her legs crossed like a monk, like sitting in the air, kind of copying Mox.
Except keeping herself up with her hands instead of him holding his hands in the circle like this. Come on, trying to get the face. Come on, like that. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
He'll look over at Kojima and seem impressed and be like, "But how well do you fight?"
How much do you know about martial arts, like in the city? Is the response he gets.
He'll just kind of smile. I am a Shambhala priest after all. But I prefer to focus on the enlightened side of things.
I was trained by some very good martial artists, and since taking the second breath, I've improved.
Many people in the city claim to be this, that, or the other when it comes to their martial abilities, but so few are ever willing to actually put the words to their mouths upon the test of the floor.
Yeah, enough like that. I'll just stay way the hell over here. If someone comes near me, I'll run the fuck away. I'm a coward. I don't give a shit.
Wise man said, "Forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for a late pizza."
A warrior who too often sits at home, his blade will go rusty.
I don't use a blade though.
Well,
Neither do I.
That's
He'll just kind
okay.
of flick his fingers around like he's wearing claws instead of having fingers.
I can punch people, I know that.
Yeah, you punched Bosco.
Well, he deserved it. Catching up on me on where I was. You punched the other dude too. He was being stupid. Trying to stab me.
Hey, to be fair, he didn't exactly explain what he was trying to do, and that was stupid. Hey, I just said to be fair. I didn't say I was going to defend him or anything.
Give a point with that sentence.
I didn't say I was going to defend him or anything.
Yes.
You know Theurges, they do really wonky stuff. Oh, wait, sorry. That's right, you don't. Sorry.
The Theurges are cool. I mean, I only do one, but she was cool, I guess.
Well, as long as everybody's happy, that's all I care about. And that people that are dumb learn how to think straight. Just gonna look at everybody. You guys all know how to think straight, right?
What?
Dimitri just raises an eyebrow.
I can most certainly think sideways.
Mm-hmm.
So if a tree falls in the woods and nobody's around, it doesn't make a noise.
Yes.
But if it falls in the wood and it hits a mime, does anybody care?
No.
The tree does. The mine does.
I don't think the mime would, honestly. He chose to be a mime, so his life couldn't have been that great. Tree mime.
How do you know you're you?
Because you're no one else.
But you've been told you're you your entire life. What if you're not you're you? What if you're somebody else? Everybody's just been telling you that you're you because they think you're you, but you're not you.
You've been watching that special on TV for too long.
What's special?
You didn't see it?
I don't watch TV anymore. I have a
Probably.
DVR. I collect Adult Swim and Toonami and stuff like that.
Samurai Jack?
Yeah, I like Samurai Jack. But hey, he's only called Samurai Jack because everybody called him Jack in the first episode. He's actually just the samurai.
True enough, but that is what they titled the show, so.
Yep.
Hmm. In any case,
But-
there was a news release recently. It's targeting all of us, I believe, trying to state that we're all delusional individuals in need of help.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can show her delusions.
You guys are definitely delusional.
Kojima just kind of like, I'm gonna have to roll for that because what she's gonna do is like lean over on one hand and like whisper in Mock's ear, and she just goes, "This one reminds me of Mayuri. Should I be worried?" Because she picked up the Adult Swim reference.
Oh, he's just like, he's okay. He's not bad. Don't be worried.
Ah, I see. Is he like? Never mind. And she just like goes back to how she was sitting.
Oh, he's like Dexter.
That
Her
actually
head
gets a
tilted
grin.
90 degrees.
That gets a broad grin from Dimitri. Actually, he's just like, "Thank you."
But I don't think that Asuka lady is like Dee Dee, though. Too smart to be Dee Dee.
No, she'd be more like a female Mad Dark.
But you two don't fight. I mean, I've heard you argue, but it's mostly like a couple squabbling. Are you two married?
Thank God, no.
So, she's looking at the bald dude. Who are you?
Pardon. I think several introductions are in order around here.
More than likely, but I'll let you guys handle that yourself. I'm gonna start thinking about things. What if chairs were called bloopers? And what if tables were called chairs?
And what if math doesn't exist?
And what if carpet was actually called mandrake root? Fascinating.
I'm Eleanor. People seem to think I'm a bear. I think you are all crazy.
That's just because you can't see. Yeah.
Yes. You most categorically and in all likelihood are a bear.
I can see it, and he'll point up at the bear form.
Yeah, the Shard nods along. It's rather obvious, really.
Oh, wait until you meet Adriana. She's actually a lesbian. Oh, the lesbian. She took a porn star as a date to the opening of her museum.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, sorry. See, I've heard that mentioned, but I have not turned into a bear, so I do not believe you.
Seeing is believing, I guess, but how can you see yourself turn into a bear?
Well, Bosco calls her family, and that's good enough for me.
I would add, perhaps, maybe we should entice out the bear if anyone possesses honey.
Quick question. With my research data on what happens when a shifter does their first change, do I know how bad that is?
Yeah, it's fairly obvious. At this point, Mox will look up and say, and to this day, nobody knows why the bear attacked. And he'll pull up a video on YouTube on his phone and set it down, and it'll show a guy walking into a cage with a bear and poking the bear, and the bear looks at him. Comes back in, pokes the bear again, the bear swats at him. The guy comes back in, pokes the bear a third time, the bear gets up and mauls the crap out of him. And at the end of it, there's a little caption that says, and to this day, we still don't know why the bear attacked. At which point, Mox will shut off the YouTube and put his phone away.
Precisely. Let sleeping bears lie for now.
Shar looks at the video rather intently, and then says, "Problem is, would one say, been faster on his feet?"
It would have been wiser if he had not poked the bear at all.
But we wouldn't be poking it, we'd be giving it food. Or her, I guess.
Yes, you would be. Not the sort that you have in mind, though.
I don't have to run the fastest, I just have to run faster than you. I'm pretty sure I can do that.
On
I got a
Oathbreaker,
way out. None of you guys have. At that point, he'll just smile.
Nathan's just gonna go over to the kitchen and start looking for honey.
We lost him.
There will be a jar of honey shaped like a bear.
Yes.
By the way, since introductions were asked for, I'm Dmitry Dragomir, formerly of the Progenitors, currently of the House of Pentacles. Pleasure to meet you. And your name was Eleanor, I believe, yes? And yours, sir? He looks over at Nathan.
We've already met.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. My apologies.
I have a new title now. I mean, I guess.
To be fair, I have a poor memory for such things, so if it's any consolation, I'll think of you exactly the same as I did before.
Excellent. Glad to hear it. He'll just continue his search for honey.
Which you'll find eventually.
It's Nathan, by the way. Sir Nathan Adams.
Like,
Oh, and my
What's
name
your
is
sir?
Yugeling Po, but everybody calls me Mox the Red Star.
I can see why.
Well, it's an asshole.
Quite.
If introductions are indeed in order, this one is named Shar Flickerflame, Knight of House Eluda, at your service.
Do your flames really flicker, though?
I can show you if you'd like.
No, that would be bad in here. Let's not have any flames floating around.
He contemplates for a moment and he says, "But they wouldn't burn anything."
It doesn't matter.
That's beside the point.
Just no flames. You don't see me transforming into a giant werewolf and, sharpening my claws on the rug or peeing on the furniture, do you? Though I could, that would be hilarious. He actually looks like he's thinking about it.
Please don't, for my sake.
Okay, for your sake.
Thank you.
Kojima just walks over on her hands and kind of leans over to Mox. What is everybody saying? Are they complaining about dressing? Because I would.
No,
I would complain about how all these people are dressed too.
Mox is going to point out people. That's Eleanor. She's a werebear. That's Dimitri. He's a mad scientist. Pointing at Nathan. That's Nathan. He makes stuff, and he's got a weird eye that shoots lightning and stuff.
Don't tell them my secrets, damn it.
But you didn't hear that from me.
Thank you.
And it's going to point over to... he's saying all this in Mandarin, by the way. So, it's going to point at Evan's character. That's Shar Flickerflame. Apparently his flames really do flicker. I think he's some kind of fairy. Oh, and by the way, my name is also Mox the Red Star. That's my guru name. I'm a werewolf, but I'm one of the really nice ones. I swear to God I am. I don't like...
She just nods.
I don't like ripping people apart. I like playing pranks on people and hoping they learn something from the ordeal.
She just goes very quietly.
There's a lot of...
Sorry.
He's going to say, there's a lot of stupid people in the world.
She just goes under her breath really quietly, but ripping the people apart is so much fun.
Well, yes, but you don't go saying that to people. Shh. It's called decorum.
She just tilts her head and then is going to go back into a handstand. Don't watch.
At that point, he's going to look at everybody and say, "This is Kojima Saya. She's one of the hosts. She's a very sweet young lady that can't speak English."
Or Cantonese.
Nope, doesn't speak Cantonese either. I tried.
Oh,
She speaks Mandarin, though. She speaks perfect Mandarin.
yeah. Hey, I found some honey. Hey, Shark, catch. He's got
Shar will have to flip himself up from a handstand. As a matter of fact, let's do an athletics roll to see if I can. If someone would roll me 10 dice, please.
I'll roll.
Otherwise, I'm going to get covered in honey.
No, you probably won't. Nathan has one eye, so it'll probably end up going 3 feet to your left.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, you're able to catch it and correct for the slight aim discrepancy from Nathan without it going all over the place.
Dude, I can't halfway breathe half the time. That's how I breathe.
It's true.
He kind of pops open the honey with one gloved finger before walking over to the werebear and kind of like holding it out in front of her nose, kind of not sure what he's doing, but it's like, here is the delicious treat.
I will punch you.
Mox is going to spend and hold a rage just in case he has to insta-shift.
Come on.
I will punch you.
Will you quit teasing her, please?
I'm not teasing her, I'm offering her delicious honey.
Yes, right in front of her nose, like she's an animal.
But this does raise an interesting conundrum. He kind of walks back and, contemplating his next move, he pours the honey into a cup and brings it back and offers it like tea.
And she's just gonna ignore him and walk to the liquor section of the bar and be like, I'm gonna make myself a drink.
Shar looks at the knocker, kind of shakes his head and goes, I don't think it's working.
Quick. Sneak some honey in her drink.
Oh god. Oh god, no. Why must I be incredibly fascinated by this mystery and want to solve it? No.
Kojima is looking at Mox and she goes, Are all foreigners this weird, or is it just these ones?
It's just these ones, but there's some that are weird. You see, they're both fairies, but they both do different things as fairies.
So God, I have character to think of like Asian fairy tales. Shit. For her to have his reference.
Mox is going to do a test. He's going to go over, grab the salt shaker, pour the salt into his hand, and then walk over and go, oops, and drop it on the ground.
Dimitri vanishes in a puff of smoke. No, I'm just kidding.
And he's just going to look back and forth between Nathan and Shar.
What?
Shar will very, very quickly scoop the salt into his hands and throw it over his left shoulder.
That wasn't the response I was expecting.
What, that whole salt thing? Yeah, no, it's bullshit.
Okay.
I bet you think we crawl into, like, children's cribs at night and steal them and pretend to beat them, huh? Don't you racist bastard?
I would like to point out, we're not allowed to do that anymore. There was a petition.
Yeah.
But you did do it at one time.
But we don't anymore.
Yeah. I mean, what? Would you like me to turn around and start singing Mammy for your general amusement?
Yeah.
That doesn't even make any kind of sense. At all. Besides, I could be racist. I'm Asian.
You're Asian in Asia, though.
You
But
actually start
I
hearing
was
Eleanor laugh.
I
Are
was
you into...
I was born in North Carolina. I'm technically American.
Then you're still what they would call a guilo. At
No.
least in culture, if nothing else.
Because I'm born of two Asian parents. I trained in an Asian monastery since I was 4 years old. I'm a certified and true Shambhala priest. And, oh yeah, I speak the language and understand the culture better than most people.
Then you would be considered a native, I suppose.
Or is it, since you like puzzles so much?
What'd you say?
Or is it, since you like puzzles so much?
A little column A, a little column B. I was just using the typical American defense of I'm a different minority, I should not be racist.
I mean, I'm Jewish, so does that make me racist?
I don't know. Depends.
On what?
Do you think that all I do is practice martial arts and eat rice?
No, you've shown that's clearly not the case.
Okay, then you're not a racist.
Cool.
At which point, Mox will walk over to the kitchenette area, make up a bowl of rice, and start eating it.
Oh, yes. It should be noted, having had a word with the, how would one say, what was it they called themselves? Sons of Esther? That'll do. Thank you. A number of technocratic weapons, or some like, were sold to a changeling who our king has decreed be placed under arrest. We're not exactly sure where they are, but they should probably be returned.
That would be a matter for the High King and the elders of the House of Pentacles.
Mox
He
is
shrugs and
look at Dimitri. Well, who did you sell? What did you sell to people?
I haven't. I haven't produced any weapons or sold any since I arrived in the city.
Did you bring any with you?
A few.
And you haven't sold them?
Correct.
Well, considering the fact that the people that are the technocracy are not in the market of actually buying or selling their own weaponry, it would have to be somebody.
Well, it wasn't us.
Maybe I should go ask that Mr. Smith guy, and he'll start heading towards the door.
Don't.
I think that would be a poor choice.
Why? He seems like an agreeable fellow. I saw him on the news.
He's not quite the same for those who meet him in person, as I have understood. I fortunately avoided the pleasure.
So you guys played for the same team and you never met?
That's like saying you work for the government and you don't know Obama. In United States term, of course.
Okay.
I know of him. I know of his exploits. I know what his rank is. I am fairly low on the ladder compared to him.
Especially now.
Yes.
I do believe that...
If somebody's got technocratic weapons, we should take them away. But we're not allowed in the Emerald Mother anymore.
Yes, I wonder why that is.
Because you broke some of our most sacred laws.
Who?
He points at Dimitri with a kind of a feigned, exasperated pointing.
What'd you do?
Oh, I'd love to hear this. Please, explain.
How many of you here have ever heard of the Ashit?
Nathan raises his hand.
Well, obviously.
I'm actually
I
curious.
haven't. She hasn't, pointing to Eleanor, and he knows that for a fact because Eleanor's got no memory. And then we'll look at Saya. And in Mandarin, we'll say to Saya, have you ever heard of something called the Ashit that the fairies deal with?
Fairy sheets?
Ashit.
No, but I think I had some as a kid.
She thinks she's had some fairy sheets as a kid.
Lol. Very well then. The Ashit are a series of very important laws that govern our interactions, our codes of honor, and whom we are as people. Unfortunately, he contemplates his next words very carefully, Mr. Riker, with the aid of Oathbreaker over there, broke one of the most sacred laws, and so King Dartmouth was forced to revoke visiting privileges to the Emerald Mother while he sorts this mess out.
And what exactly did I do?
One of the Ashit states that we shall under no condition, under no, how would one say, eventuality, betray another one of our kind to the forces of banality. In giving my blood to you, Riker betrayed me, one of his kind, to a force of banality.
Even though I gave him my word in public that I would do nothing with it.
He shrugs.
What did you want his blood for? You're not a vampire.
No, I'm not. And to be honest, I don't have much use for it, but I figured when there's someone who's flagrantly breaking the laws of our, what was the word used by our seat of temperance, sacred spaces, such as the Emerald Mother, people coming in with weapons drawn in some cases. No, to be quite fair, that's not quite accurate. The weapon was brought in and then drawn at a point later on when they're not permitted within the facility. And then on top of that, the same individual, what was it? Can't remember the rest of it just yet, but something about drawing weapons. I know that's against the rules.
He raises his middle finger, not like giving you the finger, but as to make a point of clarification, and he says, to quote another one of the Ashit, we are always to be welcome in any freehold and cannot be turned away. And as a knight of the realm, it is illegal to disarm me should I choose not to give up my weapons under our law.
And your law does not trump ours, any more than ours would trump yours.
I do believe that we have proven our law does trump yours when Dartmouth commanded that everyone else be expelled from the Emerald Mother.
Then are you suggesting, if you truly believe that, then why are you here?
Yeah, this place belongs to the vampires. It doesn't belong to anybody else.
Because this was made the new haven, wasn't it?
But as you say, if the laws of whoever truly owns the place trump everyone else, then we should all be paying deference to the vampires, and none of us else should be here. In fact, I don't believe there are any vampires among us at the moment, are there? Unless he kind of looks over. He's just looking over to see, like, is anyone here a vampire?
Nathan will just kind of like check his vitals. Nope, still kicking.
It's illegal for me to be a vampire.
When Kojima will just like raise her finger when that's translated to her.
He tilts his head. I thought you said she was of the hosts.
She is. She's technically a vampire, but she's not the vampires that own this place. He'll look back and translate to her. The Kindred own this place, not the Quajan.
She just goes. She makes this face of kind of just not really disgust, just kind of displeasure, and goes, Kinjin.
Yes.
In Mandarin, because this is all translation. She's only speaking Mandarin. I'm speaking Mandarin to her. Yeah, I know what you mean. You guys smell better than they do.
Needless to say, the fact of the matter is that your ignorance of our laws is what protects you from our king's wrath, Mr. Brick.
I think it might have other reasons to do with it, but you're welcome to believe whatever you wish.
Can everybody just behave?
Seconded. Alright, look. Dude man, Dimitri over there, you gave him back his blood, right?
I gave it back to one of my own, the Seat of Temperance, who then took it back to his king, I believe.
Okay.
Let's put it, yes, I have my blood.
Okay, so you got your blood. It's not a threat to you anymore. He can't do anything with it. Dimitri, you're punished by our king, right? So at this point, the entire thing is between Riker, Char here, because I guess there was something there, and the king. Ain't our business.
This one agrees. He is merely pointing out that ignorance will not be allowed to be used as an excuse a second time.
That is not for you to decide, sir.
Hey, I happen to be very ignorant.
In some cases, I would choose to be ignorant, but in this case, it's not helpful. I don't exactly see teachers lining up for this one.
Koji just leans over to Mox and goes, she kind of whispers, do we have any popcorn? This is like a really good show.
Check the kitchen. I saw someone. I was looking for salt.
And she'll just go into a handstand and walk into the kitchen. And, like, she'll get on her feet when she gets there and search for popcorn.
Damn it, I thought it would have been much more interesting if you were using your feet to open presses and get the popcorn.
No, she doesn't have that. She doesn't have that many merits yet.
No, it's not for you to decide whether ignorance will protect them or not. That instantly becomes an inter-house matter if it involves somebody from another house, and that's up to the council. Which our king would have a voice because he's speaker, I'm pretty sure.
You'll see the masthead nod, and Charbel kind of he kind of leans banning at his full height, and blah blah blah. But now he's kind of he's not quite dejected, but he's calm again.
Okay.
Do not make me start flinging underwear at you people. I will, I swear.
Where are you gonna get all the underwear? Do you just carry it around?
I'll find it. Don't think I won't.
Indeed. If you notice he sniffs so vehemently the air, I think he can probably track it within a 20-25 meter radius.
It's kind of impressive.
Alright, so Mox will sit down with Saya and start eating popcorn. Then look at her with speaking Mandarin. I think the entertainment's over.
She kind of has this like pouting face. Aw, I guess we'll have to go and find some. What is the word? She kind of thinks for a moment. Some miscreants to teach a lesson. I need to dance. She kind of just pops a piece of popcorn in her mouth after she says that.
Well, I don't know where you can go to do that. You could always go beat up gangs at the warehouse, the district, but that's protected by some people, so not something I'd really recommend.
Just for the sake of RP, Brett, are we to assume that everything that's said is being translated for our purposes, or are we?
Yes, it is. Well, no, unless she wants it translated. So you need to tell me, Joey, what you want translated back to them. But he's translating everything you guys are saying to her in Mandarin.
Unless it's like obviously insulting them or something, she's fine with you like translating stuff to them. She says that.
All right.
Oh, this one would ask, who protects the gangs in the warehouse district?
That'd be the Triad. You don't want to mess with the Triad.
Someone has asked that I speak with these Triad. How does one do this?
You don't.
Why?
Oop, I gotta make a willpower roll.
All right.
Ooh, where is my willpower? Okay, she hides her emotions perfectly then.
Okay. Well, I don't recommend it because typically when you go talk to people who deal with dishonest scum for a living, they don't trust anybody.
He'll very casually shrug and he will say, one of the sons of Ether requested that we do this as the personage Riker made promises of House to her in regards to such.
You broke up on that. You may need to repeat it.
Okay. There we go. He stops. He kind of contemplates for a moment, and he says, "Promises were made, Riker, half of House Eluda, to one of the sons of Ether, pertaining to their research to defeat the technocracy. I intend to carry them out, and the triads are a necessary part of that plan.
Well, unless you have references, you'll end up at the bottom of the ocean.
You're saying that Serena, because I don't know of any other Aetherites in the city yet, she introduced herself as the only one. Serena, the woman with the Tesla soul, is that of whom you speak?
Yes.
And she asked you to get a hold of the Triad.
Yes.
Isn't that kind of like asking me to go knock on the door of the technocracy and say, "Hey, can you show me around?"
More aptly, she asked Riker to do this, and as Riker is currently indisposed, I, as a knight of his house, must honor his agreements and his oaths.
Must or choose to? I don't know your system.
I don't recommend anybody that's not familiar with the triads going up and talking to them. Do you like cement? If you like cement, that's fine.
He'll casually shrug. It is something I must do, whether I wish to or not.
Just wanted to clarify that.
Okay.
Obligations are obligations.
Well, go to any street corner and ask the guy in the bum that you want to go speak to the leader of the triad. And after about 50 years or so, you'll end up at the bottom of the river.
I don't think it would take that long.
Yeah, probably after 2 weeks.
Very interesting, I'm sure. So you have no helpful lead that could lead me in the right direction, as opposed to a...
Purposely try to stay away from those kind of people. They tend to carry guns and are not shy about using them. Nor do they care about what the cops will do.
He kind of looks... You hear a bemused chuckle from under the mask. Guns. People seem to place so much stock in those things.
Yeah, I don't put too much stock in guns either. Rocket launchers, on the other hand, do make a bit of a mess.
What about guns that shoot lightning? Are you cool with those?
I was shot by one of those the other day. It didn't hurt that much.
Mine's better.
He kind of contemplates that and says, "At some point, I may ask you to help me fashion something."
I could probably do that.
Hooray! But
everybody's so quick with weapons. Nobody just uses their wit anymore. I guess most people are unarmed in that respect.
That actually gets a grin out of Dimitri.
However, I was told that if I can rally the triads, it would aid Serena in her befuddling of the consent.
Did you just say rally the triad like you're gonna lead it?
He kind of contemplates. Oftentimes, these people are led only by the... Or, he takes his mask, those with the right faces.
How does he look under the mask?
No one's ever seen him. Are you asking me as the ST?
No, did you take your mask off?
He's tapping his mask with his finger.
Oh, okay. I thought you said tilting. My bad.
At which point, Mox is going to turn to Saya and in Mandarin say, "The Guilo thinks you can go talk to the leader of the triad and lead them."
Oh,
she lets out a very, very not ugly laugh, but a very
unladylike laugh.
Yes.
Okay.
And goes, I will be on the search for his remains if he does so. Maybe there'll still be some good cheat left to devour.
That's not going to get translated back at all. Because Mox has wits 4 and intelligence 3 for a reason.
So, I'm a little confused as to the specifics. Oh, we lost him. And he's back.
Sorry, just a quick note. I take it that I can pick up... I can't speak Mandarin, of course, but I take it I can pick up the word Guilo, which I do know the meaning to.
If you know what Guilo means, then yeah, he used it.
Shar puts his gloved hand in his mouth through the mask, and he bites down, and he pulls the glove off, and for his skin, he is definitely as Asian as you or the other person underneath all of his robes and clothing.
Do you speak the language?
He kind of contemplates, and for the record, this character's been speaking nothing but Cantonese since he came into play, so I don't know if that constitutes.
Given I don't believe my character speaks anything but English.
Yeah, that's a thing.
This is something that needed to be known initially because there's only a few people that actually speak Mandarin or Cantonese in the city.
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
I just assumed that there was some kind of... Okay. If necessary, in order to cover up this hilarious fuck-up, it is hilarious.
I'll let you backspend for... I mean, I don't think Sean will have any problem with you backspending to get the language merit for English. It will be 2 XP.
Yeah, that's entirely cool.
Yeah.
So he will shrug and he will say, just because the soul comes from the east does not mean it cannot live in the... Just because the soul comes from the west does not mean it cannot live in the flesh of the east. Before he puts his gloves back on.
At that point, he's going to look over at Saya and in Mandarin say, he's wearing a Asian body.
Is he Yulan Jin? And she's actually like she's gone on her knuckles, and her knuckles are popping, and she's still sitting in her monk position.
Right.
And she's looking at him very carefully now.
He's saying that his soul is of the west, but his body is of the east. I don't know what Whitey thinks he's doing by playing this game, but he's going to end up losing.
She actually hisses a little. And it's not like an aggressive hiss, it's more of a confused, like you know how a cattle kind of hiss it thinks there's danger, but it's not sure?
Yeah.
A WTF noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sounds Yulan Jin, but she like sniffs. This will need investigation, I think.
Let me know if you need help. I may not be like you guys, but this is my country and my heritage as well. He's kind of stepping on my pride.
Quick but important question. Yulan Jin is, I do believe, what they call Western kindred. Is it?
No, Yulan Jin
are... Sorry.
No, go ahead. You can explain it better than I can.
Yulan Jin, from my understanding, are Kuei-jin that don't... I don't think they're on a Dharma, but what they do is they body hop when they die, if I remember correctly.
Oh, yeah, okay. I know what they are now.
So let me see if I understand this. In an attempt to fight the technocracy, which is a noble goal, Serena has requested your help to deal with, find, or rally, or all of the above, the triad. Does this have anything to do with the... with her weapons that she's been constructing recently? I happened to see the specs for those.
Yes, 12 prototypes were given to Mr. Riker, as I said earlier. The concept being that if they are placed into the hands of mortals, who then use them to commit violent crime, to which the police will respond.
A moment. You said you were going to take responsibility for Riker's deals.
He contemplates that, and he says, to an extent.
And he's like putting 2 and 2 together, and obviously there's like an expression on his face like he does not like the number he's coming up with, and he's just like... So the weapons she made before are currently unknown. Has she made more?
She says she is in the process of doing so.
Has she suggested or intimated that she would give these to you?
Got a question. Why don't you just ask the guy Who had him last?
Because he's been out of character. I don't know if he's been arrested yet. He was put under, or the post definitely said he's been placed under arrest or under guard or whatever else.
He's not under arrest. Wherever he goes, he is being followed by 2 sworn knights of King Dartmouth, which is like they are basically oath sworn to him.
Yeah, so basically he's under armed guard and he's basically being scrutinized with everything and he has to be summoned to trial. So he's essentially under some kind of...
That was interesting.
Yeah. But I don't, I mean, have basically Brett as the ST, because obviously Sean, whatever. Have they found him, and are the knights currently like walking with him everywhere, or has he run away?
He's at the Emerald Mother. He's not making any attempts to leave or run away. He is currently tending to his business as best as he can now that he has no customers.
Okay. That's cool. In that case, he will look at Dimitri and he will say, "Very possibly."
It's a yes or a no. Did she say she would give you the weapons?
He contemplates for a moment. She said that she would give them to arm the triads, yes.
All I need to know. Thank you. He stands up slowly and finishes his drink, takes it over to the kitchen, neatly washes it and puts it in the dishwasher, which actually will take a minute. Then comes back, smiles at Nathan and Mox. Yeah, Mox, that's right. Didn't he give another name?
Zhuge Lingpo, but he did
He's going to call it Mox. Yeah.
Among the Guru, he's known as Mox the Red Star.
He'll call him by his title then, Mox the Red Star. And towards Eleanor and...
Saya.
Yeah, I keep trying to look at the first name. Kojima. And
well, technically, Joey, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't Saya her first name and Kojima her last name?
Actually, no, I didn't put it in the proper way on her overlay. So actually,
I made my mistake anyways.
From a Western mindset, so.
Okay. He just nods to each of them and says, "Pleasant meeting you, pleasant seeing you again in your case, and a pleasant evening to you all."
Have a good night.
Yeah.
Don't step in anything. You never know when a dog's going to run around and leave his shit lying around.
He kind of smirks at that and then heads out the door.
I will give you...
Dude, you seriously reverberated.
Roboto.
That's coming out robotic. We can't hear a word.
Oh, is that better or worse?
That's better.
We can hear you now. Repeat.
Okay. He said, "I will give you a warning before you leave, Oathbreaker."
And he just turns and looks.
She said to me earlier that she was, when we spoke of you, she did not consider you her friend or ally anymore.
Did she cite a reason?
He contemplates that for a moment and says, "She was most disconcerted by your recent actions."
At that point, Mox is going to stand up and say, "How about you let him talk to a member of his own house about how she feels and not simply go spouting around bullshit?"
He seems to contemplate that, and he says, "I am merely facilitating peace and goodwill in our time."
No, you see, I don't think you are.
Did you?
Because you could have heard this from her, but no, you took a stick, you took a pot of shit, and you started stirring it.
Wait a moment. I will give the benefit of the doubt, though I usually regret doing so. Did you tell her about the events regarding myself, the Blood, and the Emerald Mother?
Of course.
Thank
She
you.
needed to. She
And
needed to
as he
understand.
walks out.
He's going to look at Kojima. I'm going to go make sure he doesn't key somebody's car. And he's going to follow Dimitri out the door.
Well, down the elevator and then
To the well, he's going to catch you at the elevator and go down with you.
Kim, does he have to turn in the access card?
Nope.
Okay. He'll keep it.
So, Eleanor's gonna look at dude and be like, so, are you just gonna ask him? That seems like a lot easier thing to do than just going around asking all the wrong people.
Sorry, is she talking to me?
Mm-hmm.
He will kind of, he'll shrug his shoulders and he will say, I will find what I need. It's just a matter of time.
All right. Arthur, Mox Red Star is actually going to look over his shoulder.
And he's actually in the process of, he's pulled out a small tablet device, unless the place is like shielded against, wireless transmissions or anything like that. Like
No, it's not.
shit. In that case, he's in the process of sending out a text message.
Oh, so Kojima's in the elevator with him. Okay.
Kojima Mox. And
Eleanor, Nathan, and Shar up at the thing, I guess.
So Shar, Eleanor, and Nathan are still upstairs, or did they follow?
No, they're still at the museum.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. All right. So he's going to go. Who's Arthur?
the seat of temperance for the city, and a member
Oh.
of the House.
Is he smart?
I believe so.
Temperance would mean he's a very calm person, right?
It's his job to be the voice of reason.
Is he going to help you calm down? Because I think you're a little agitated. And coming from one of my people, that's saying something.
He raises an eyebrow. You're observant.
I have to be. It's part of my job.
Let me tell you a brief story. And he, as they get to the bottom floor, he actually hits the close door button so that they don't have to walk out and be surrounded by mortals again.
Okay.
Where I come from, those who can't keep their cool never progress. And if they don't progress for a certain period of time, they disappear.
Well, I know a
Right,
few
so-
runs that need to have that kind of training.
It's not fun for everyone, and it's not successful with everyone. Even among my own kind, we're known for having a body count.
I don't find
So-
that scary at all.
You wouldn't. He kind of smiles. So, I am good at keeping my calm when I need to, but
I just want to make sure you didn't, key somebody's car, blow something up, take a shit on somebody's lawn or their desk.
no. Thankfully, I'm not quite that crass.
You never know. People have weird habits.
Yes. And then he opens the door again and starts for the door unless he stops him.
Mox is going to put a hand on it. Is going to raise a hand up to him real quick.
Mhm.
And I know this may not seem like much, and he'll pull out his prayer beads and tick them right in front of him. I'm hoping that Chimera can help you see the obstacles you're facing and will help you overcome them.
Sorry, I'm not familiar.
Chimera is the guardian spirit of my people. She is also very focused on revealing obstacles and helping people overcome puzzles.
An oracle of sorts.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate the thought, if nothing else. And good evening to you both. He nods politely.
He'll put the prayer beads back and push the button to go back upstairs.
Is it possible he might know, just enough words in, Mandarin to actually say, hello or goodbye? Typical tourist crap?
Maybe. What's your intelligence?
4.
Yeah, I'll say you know enough. You've heard enough to know hello, goodbye, and Guilo.
Okay. In that case, he says goodbye to Saya.
Joey.
She'll nod to him, and then, like, the moment he's out of the elevator, she turns to Mox and she goes, "The Guaylo is very, very interesting."
Yes, he is. He's, from what I've been told, his kind are Weaver
Sounds
aspected, but they're not. He's trying to change, I suppose. So they'll head back up, and Mox will get out of the elevator and walk over and go raiding through the fridge.
You guys seem alright.
Peachy with a side of cane, that's me.
Okay.
You're less alright. But you guys seem alright.
There's
Kind of.
just a quizzical glance. Because no idea what you're saying.
So, what kind of weird stuff do you do? I know that, I guess, weird stuff is this place's specialty, so everybody does different weird stuff.
I make stuff and intimidate inanimate objects to work properly.
He is the best at making stuff. Oh, well, his kinda.
I'm pretty decent.
Once again, I look forward to testing examples of your craft. We shall show these technocracy what Dragonfire feels like.
That'll be a fun time.
Dragonfire tickles.
Does it?
Does it?
Well,
tickles.
on this side of the Umbra. On the other side of the Umbra, whoa Nelly, this is not good at all.
That really sucks. Hellfire. Hellfire really sucks.
That does not sound like a pleasant time.
That was my first night in Hong Kong.
My first night, wake up not remembering anything, then somebody dressed up me up and carried me around.
Yeah, no, I think I still had it. I got blasted by hell. Smelled like sulfur for like 2 weeks.
I remember
Who has Hellfire?
about my life.
Yeah, no, I still got it worse.
Apparently a bear.
You are not just apparently a bear, you are eminently a bear, clearly a bear, and obviously a bear.
Hey, she may just play one on TV, you don't know.
But then again, where we come from, in very old times, a long time ago, the bear was the ultimate symbol of strength, and also caring. For after all, a mother bear will do anything to defend its young. So it shows that you have both strong arms and a strong heart, if nothing else.
It's true.
I am very strong. How
I
much
am not strong at all.
How much does Nathan weigh?
Probably not much. Well, actually, probably be like going around.
She's gonna try and deadlift Nathan.
You're gonna deadlift Nathan. Oh dear.
Give me a minute.
Do it.
There's a sheet I gotta look up.
You got strength 4. She's just gonna
That's-
pick him up
That's probably enough.
and just be like,
Yep, well, I mean, like, Strength 4 is, like, as strong as people can physically be, because Strength 5 is supernatural, so yeah. Whoop.
You have that one Gary who's strength 7 all the time, and you're just like, bruh.
Yeah, you can totally deadlift him.
yeah.
Are you enjoying the view from up there?
It is pretty nice. Now I am the tallest.
Maybe one day you shall be the fairest. Actually, wait, no, that's my job.
I was gonna say it's pretty doubtful, and he'll gesture at his ear and his eye.
What happened to your face?
Got eaten.
By what?
Red caps.
Ah, that is all the answer I require.
Yeah, you really don't want to hear the rest of it.
No. We learned a very long time ago. Never get very bored with the red caps with red caps, a deck of cards, and betting various things. You will end up slightly chewed.
I didn't really mean to get involved with them. We were just on a ship, and all of a sudden, holy shit, Nightmare Realm, and then all of a sudden, holy shit, Red Caps.
I don't understand a single word of that. Were you speaking a different language?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, okay then.
Just if someone says, hey, let me take you to a Nightmare Realm, you tell them no.
Is that like
Or
going to
maybe-
the Scar?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
No, look at Eleanor. Never go to the Scar. Or Wolf Home. I don't know if your kind can actually go to Wolf Home.
What is Wolf Home?
You don't want to know.
So just shrug? It's like I said, you're all crazy.
Perhaps. But then again, normality is just a state of mind for those who can't dream anything better. Ooh, piece of candy.
Will you put me down now?
She put you down like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
You weren't paying attention. Pay attention.
No.
Well, are we gonna...
Question. Sorry. How physically big is the girl who just deadlifted a knocker?
I mean, he's a Geralt, and they're typically pretty,
large?
yeah, pretty hefty, even in Hamid form. So.
Yeah. So I was just gonna say, like, if she was like the standard little Asian girl, like 5'5", and who weighed like 90 pounds.
She's Caucasian.
Yeah.
Okay, coolio.
Yep.
Excuse me. At this point, Mox is going to stand up and, well, it's a long walk back to the park. I better get going. Eleanor, you want to come with me, or...
I was gonna say I can give you a ride.
Nah, it's better to walk. Besides, you guys don't need to know where the park is.
I mean, I know where the park is. I just don't need to know where your secret hidey hole is.
Yeah, you don't need to know that.
Yeah, I can drop you off like a block away.
Mm. Well, sure, that's fine. Usually I prefer to use my 2 legs, but sometimes it's nice to be driven around. I forget what it's like. I don't have a car here. Of course, sometimes I have 2 legs and sometimes I have 4.
More is better than few or fewer.
What?
He says one would argue more are better than few.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but people tend to take a dim view on wolves walking around the city.
Well, fuck those people.
I know, right? Who are they to say I can't walk around the city as a wolf?
Right?
The humans can't... No? Question mark? Like...
Yes, I know the veil must be upheld.
But if he's just a regular ass wolf walking around, well, then he's just a regular ass wolf walking around.
Maybe I should get a collar and then people think I'm somebody's pet that ran away. No, that might get me hunted by animal control.
The one fear greater than any other of a werewolf. The city dog catcher.
See, dog catcher can eat a dick.
Sound like you've had problems with him already.
Have you had problems with the...
After my first change, I thought it would be cool to run around as a wolf for a while. And unfortunately, North Carolina kind of has this dim view on wolves running around. But hey, he didn't expect the sucker punch.
And from what I've been introduced to on the television, North Carolina also has more guns per head of population than should be considered safe or sane.
Yeah, but that's North Carolina.
Spartan Jersey.
Anyway, I've got my rituals to do before I go to sleep, so let's go. Move
Okay.
this movable feast.
Well, we gotta go down the elevator.
Okay. He's gonna walk over and push the button.
Okay. Nathan will go with him, I guess. Any-
Everybody's leaving.
Anybody else need a ride? I don't mind.
Shar will shake his head and he will say, "No, I'm fine to walk, but you and I should have a talk about something to put on your forge at some point soon."
He will like grab a piece of paper, like a napkin or something, write down his address. Here's my workshop. Just come by anytime.
He will then look at the Goral and he will say, "One day, though it might be very, very far from now, you will eventually remember what you eminently are and what you are eminently. And then, oh, what fun we shall have."
That's just gonna earn a narrowed look from Mox the Red Star. Sure. Let's just hope that when she's doing that, it doesn't come to a, Chewbacca situation.
Chewbacca.
Chewbacca.
Sorry. He said, "What's a Chewbacca?"
It's a Wookiee from the planet Kashyyyk.
What's a Wookiee? And what is a Kashyyyk?
It's a planet in a galaxy far, far away, populated with creatures known as Wookiees. The Wookiees are large and furry and have a tendency of ripping people's arms and legs off when they lose at games.
Well, I'm not very familiar with much, but I'm pretty sure that big red symbol on the TV over there is indeed Netflix.
It's not
Well,
like it says Netflix.
Feel free to watch Star Wars at some point. Bum bum ba da da da, bum 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 ba da da, ba na 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 na.
Hey, don't get YouTube copywriters on
Yeah,
us.
seriously. 10 seconds, bro.
Sorry. And if that's gonna be all people are gonna be leaving, what's Saya doing?
She'll just give everyone a formal bow and head out. I mean, you see her and she's leaving, she's dancing as she's walking, and be generally not acting like you would think a stereotypical Asian lady would act. She's still quiet, but very what's the word I'm looking for?
You broke up there, dude. What'd you say?
What part did I break up at?
It's not acting like a traditional Asian lady or something like that.
Okay, well she's being quiet but very energetic as she's leaving.
Okay. All right. So everybody gets in the elevator, goes downstairs, gets in different cars, and goes their separate way.
Alright. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you. I don't think we actually had any watchers.
We actually had quite a few somewhere.
Oh, did we?
At
Okay.
one point, we had two.
Thank you, watchers, who decided we weren't worth your time and left. Bye, guys.